Washington left the game, and maybe for only one play. Keith Taylor replaced him. Already Jim Lachey lost with a shoulder injury in the first half. There's Taylor. And Bernstine and Shannon Sharp lost to the Broncos in the game. 3 wide receivers up top, 2nd and 15. The pass is batted in the air and incomplete, and William Gaines got his hands on that one.
You can see where Elway's throwing the ball today. A lot of his stuff is underneath. He's going 8 to the wide receivers, and it's still that West Coast flavor that they're talking about. You can see the wide receivers, but they're mostly the short stuff. Now, he did have the one deep one. And they talk about this offense with Mike Shanahan and then, you know, bringing it from San Francisco and all that stuff. And it looked like early that they were about to click.
3rd and 15.
Now it looks like they're on their heels a little bit.
Elway out of the shotgun, being rushed by Gaines, and is downed. And a tackle made by Sterling Palmer. And that may be only the 2nd quarterback sack of the year for the Redskins. Gaines picked up one last week.
You're going to watch Sterling Palmer right here, and then Gaines inside 95. They run the twist on outside. They bring him around, and then Palmer, who's held by Thompson, does a good job of getting back up and then making the play.
So the Redskins force the Broncos back, and now Tom Ruin will be kicking. Brian Mitchell deep for the Redskins. Fine high kick sends Mitchell back inside his 10. Brian Mitchell chased by 2 Broncos. Brian Mitchell with another sensational return. No penalty markers down, and that's his best of the year. 53 yards before Britt Hager brought him down in Bronco territory.
I got to tell you, I think that the Redskins got away with a couple of hits in the back.
I believe you.
That will go undetected. The first one's going to come right there, down, and then here's the other one on Elijah Alexander, and then Tim Houck right in front of him. Vanderbeek and Bell, they'll push them in the back right there, and that opens the whole thing up. And then Mitchell just does his job. But then in the commercial, Mike Shanahan was livid, and he was screaming at the head linesman, and they got into a pretty good argument. You can see right there. And all they were saying is just call what you see.
First down on the 42-yard line. Terry Allen.
Boy, that kid's good.
Allen gets by a defender. What a big run by Terry Allen, who's coming back strong in his first year after being with the Minnesota Vikings. A gain of 22 yards before Britt Hager sends him down, and the Redskins are threatening to take the lead for the 2nd time today.
You know, what Terry Allen does is he just hesitates just a little bit right before he gets to the corner and then allows the guys to overrun him. And that's just instinct, and that's just running with feel and gut, seeing everything.
Allen 77 yards on 11 carries. And gets the call this time, and he is stuffed by Steve Atwater, forcing the play from the secondary.
Now, if you're going to stop the run and you have got to use your safety, Steve Atwater's the guy you want. I mean, Atwater is really a small linebacker. And they're going to walk him up. You're going to see him right here. He's just starting to sneak. He sees the whole thing. He's just coming up. Allen trying to hold everybody inside, then bouncing it outside. Atwater sees the same thing that Terry Allen sees. Well, he's a player.
5-time Pro Bowler, 2nd and 10 at the 20. Logan went in motion, and the pass overthrown, intended for Westbrook. And that'll bring up 3rd down. But the Redskins trailing by 3, and Brian Mitchell today has amassed a total of 185 return yards, including 52 yards on the last punt, which, by the way, went 59 yards. You don't often see 50s both ways in a punting situation.
Well, whenever you have Brian Mitchell, you're going to see a lot of stuff that you don't normally see. And again, he's in the game right now. He's in there for a reason.
As is Titus Winans in motion, number 83. 3rd and 10. Frerotte pass. Flag down as Ellard was defended by Lionel Washington, the ex-Raider.
And I think they got Lionel Washington because he slapped his hands together right away. You know, that time they bring Mitchell in, and you know what they did with him? They left him go man-to-man in the blocking scheme. Watch Lionel Washington
48 on the defense. 5 yards, first down.
Yeah, he got him. He passed the 5-yard, and he got the bump, and they saw it all the way. Lionel Washington, who I played with the Raiders for all those years, still can play. Still a real good man-to-man guy. And Mike Shanahan made an effort to go out and get him because he gives them something that they didn't have.
Following the penalty, first down on the 15. Here's Terry Allen up the middle, and Allen getting to the 5. Close to another Redskin first down. Brett Hager again on the stop. And Allen now over 80 yards rushing coming into the game with 180 yards in 2 games, including a big effort against the Cardinals in the opener with 131, and that's what he has today.
Well, he's running very well because I think right now that offensive line of the Redskins is starting to take over the line of scrimmage. And this was a fear that the Broncos had, that their size would not be able to hold.
2nd and 1. Allen will have a first down to about the 3-yard line. Atwater making the tackle. What the Redskins have done, Matt, here in the second half is they've given the defense here in this altitude a long chance to rest, so they ought to come back strong, and they're playing better in their own right.
When they're also gaining confidence. You know, that offensive line is really picking it up. John Giesecke's pulling out there to the left. Ray Brown battling people down inside. I'll tell you who's really playing well right now is Joe Patton, 68. I mean, he came in there and hasn't missed a beat.
And remember, Trey Johnson didn't suit up today. First and goal at the 3-yard line. And here is Terry Allen. And he may get nothing on that play. Keith Burns coming up and making a big play defensively.
Well, again, they're right inside the red zone, which has been plaguing them. You can see they're down there. They got 2 touchdowns today. And this is the best that they've been all season in terms of production. And the earlier one, go ahead.
I was going to say only the 49ers have gotten into the red zone more than the Redskins coming into this game.
Well, they're going to get an opportunity here to see if they can put it in again.
2nd and goal, Terry Allen.
Nice play by Dan Williams.
3rd and goal. He had help from Atwater.
Yeah, watch Dan Williams. This is a guy that they hope can really be something special. You're going to watch him right up here, number 90. Because what he has is really good strength. And you can see right here, he just runs right through the block of Joe Patton.
3:15 remaining, 3rd quarter. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 3. And a fade to Westbrook, touchdown. No, he's out of bounds.
That's a bad call. Tyrone, no, that's 39 is Ray Crockett. He went up, caught the ball, and then he forced him out of bounds. You have to allow the receiver to come back down inside. Let's see if that's the case. Ball's in the air. Watch Westbrook go up. There's the pylon. Now he can come down. See, he forces him out. That should be a touchdown.
Yeah, he was in play when he made the catch and had a right to come down with the ball. Crockett pushing him out of bounds. But it is ruled no catch.
1 foot in, that's a touchdown. I got news for you. Another blown call by the officials.
So the Redskins have to settle for a field goal as they attempt to tie it up. 20-yard attempt by Eddie Murray, and the kick is good. So Eddie Murray with a field goal with 2:52 remaining in the 3rd quarter to tie it up at 24.
In the end zone, and this is a touchdown. What I want you to see is 1 foot comes down, and then Ray Crockett forces him out of bounds. And that, see, the defender can't take you out. You have to have the opportunity to come in. See that? 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Crockett doing the pushing. That's 6 points. Now, here's the other thing. See this official down here? That's the same official that Shanahan was screaming at, telling him he blew the call. So I'm going to tell you something. Mike Shanahan just bought himself a call because he saved himself, his team, 4 points.
And arguing worked.
Absolutely, it always does.
Lynn Milburn on the return and ridden down at the 31-yard line by Darryl Morrison. But the Redskins, with the field goal, have scored 17 unanswered points to earn the tie with 2:43 remaining.
In
The remaining 3rd quarter, tied at 24. Mike Shanahan earlier arguing with the back judge.
And you remember right there he was saying to the back judge, look, just call what you see. That's all I want you to do. And then later on, Westbrook gets up. Now it's the same official. He bought himself 4 points. You know, sometimes you do a great job of making a call in the game, and then the other time you got to work those officials.
That was Al Jury, the back judge. First down Broncos on the 32. Davis in motion. Elway pumps once. Still looking.
Got a lot of room to run.
Flag is down. Penalty marker down as Elway runs and gets into Redskin territory. Before Ken Harvey trips him up, and a gain of 23, but they may bring it back.
Yeah, that one's coming back.
Nullify that effort and run, and Elway said, look, if I'm going to run 23 yards and do all that, let's make it count.
Well, instead of 1st and 10, he's going to have 1st and 25.
Holding. 65 offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Gary Zimmerman, the veteran tackle who's acquired from the Vikings a couple of years ago.
You can see him right down here, and he's going to be going against Mike Flores. Works inside, gets the hands up, good punch. All right, I'm still waiting for the call. Guess what? I don't see it. It's a bad call. It's a nice job by Zimmerman.
We've been saying that a lot today.
Yeah, they picked a bad day to call a bad game, right?
1st and 20, back on the 22-yard line. Elway screens it out to Davis. And he is hit hard by James Washington, who's back in action and hitting hard again. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio. JB.
All right, Dick, Chicago's Anthony Marshall having himself quite a week. Blocked a punt Monday night against Green Bay. Does one here today. This time he carries it to pay dirt. 11-yard score. Special teams are shining. Chicago on top, 22-6. Back to Dick and Matt.
And a game the Bears need badly after losing at home to the Packers Monday night.
Against a much improved Tampa team.
2nd down and 14. In motion is Evans, the tight end. Elway underneath to McCaffrey. And that'll leave him about 7 or 8 yards shy of the first down with 1:20 on the clock. And this game summary is brought to you by Coors Light. We have over 500 total yards. Elway having a big day throwing. Injuries to Shannon Sharp and Rod Bernstine. And Gus Frerotte has brought the Redskins back at one time trailing 24-7 and are even 24-21 with 2 touchdown passes and an Ed Murray field goal. Here comes the blitz on Elway. They pick it up. Elway's pass. By McCaffrey. And it'll be short of the first down. Oh, no, it is a first down.
Well, I'll tell you, James Washington is playing a heck of a football game today. That guy, I'll tell you, he sees the same thing that Elway sees. He sits back there in the safety, and then, boom, he shows up with a bad attitude. Well, I really like him. I really think he's helped this team a lot. You know, he doesn't run great. So sometimes you have to watch the coverages you're in. But what he brings besides that is you can't measure. Because he's done wonders for the secondary and their confidence, and he's also brought a nasty attitude, and that's what he really needs.
Yeah, he's vocal and he's a spirit and a good man to have at RFK Stadium. And a timeout has been called by the Redskins with 4 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Well, let's tell you what's on tap next Sunday. Fox NFL Sunday, the slate of games next week, and we have a couple of beauties for you. The Minnesota Vikings against the Steelers, the Cardinals who won today against the Dallas Cowboys, and the full lineup beginning with our pregame show at 12 noon, second half of our Fox doubleheader. Cardinals and Cowboys from Dallas, and the Eagles go out to Oakland. We'll be back in your own stomping grounds as the Raiders take on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, haven't been there since 1981. The last game of the season against the Bears, which you called.
That's right. I happened to be there, and if I had known at the time, I would have come down and say, I'll see you around in a few years.
Yeah, sure you would. Right. I think I remember that game. You said, what a stiff that 55 is.
He ought to be up in the booth.
Yeah. Well, there's one guy who's no stiff. And, you know, you've got 4 seconds left, so this will be one play, and they'll go to the end of the quarter. But right now, they're a little bit out of sync.
First down on the 42-yard line of the Broncos. And Aaron Craver bowls his way to a first down into Redskin territory, and a gain of 15. Scott Turner makes the tackle, and that is the end of the third quarter with the score. The Broncos 24 and the Redskins 24. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. First down for the Broncos, and that was Aaron Craver diving to the 40-yard line. Dick Stockton and Matt Millen. It has been a shootout here, and a tie score coming into the final quarter.
I'll tell you, this guy right here, Tom Nalen, is really playing well. And then Brian Habib has a nice block. Those inside three, but that Tom Nalen and Mark Schlereth, 69 right there, they have been playing very, very well. Not only today, but the whole season. In fact, I think that Nalen's as good as any center I've watched.
High praise. 2nd and 5 at the 39. Elway with a lot of time, and the pass to Pritchard incomplete, and he was hit immediately by Rod Stevens.
You know, now this is a case of where your defense, you know, has time to throw. Your defense is reading the same thing the quarterback is. Now Rod Stevens is eyeballing that thing up. Did you see how he broke before Pritchard ever got the ball? That's just good defense and good anticipation.
And a Bronco is shaken up. Let's see if it is Pritchard. It is. Remember, he was injured last year with a lacerated kidney, but we have had a whole slew of injuries today. Jim Lachey went out early with an injured shoulder and was replaced well by Joe Patton. Then Shannon Sharp hurt his ankle. X-rays proved negative, and then Rod Bernstine went out with an ankle injury, and now Pritchard is shaken up. Remember, that's not the Golden Dome. We're not in South Bend. The Broncos have a 3rd and 5. Rod Smith has come in at wide receiver, goes in motion, and we may have a false start.
Somebody forgot to snap the ball. He turned around and said, I thought you said 3.
I thought you said he was one of the best centers. He is a fine center.
False start prior to the snap. 69 offense, 5 yards, repeat 3rd down.
On Mark Schlereth. Here's Pritchard when he went down and had to be taken off.
And Rod Stevens is going to drive through him. He comes right down on that knee. And you never know. I mean, they're looking at the knee. He came right down on it. Hopefully it's just a bruise.
It is exactly that. Bruised left knee, and he's questionable as far as his return. There's Jim Lachey in street clothes.
And that's a rotator cuff that he's got, because it was bothering him all year.
Glenn Milburn in as an extra receiver on 3rd and 10. Out of the shotgun, the shuffle pass to Milburn. And Milburn is short of the first down by about 3 yards.
Well, did you see Sterling Palmer? He knew what it was. He just couldn't react quick enough. And you got a guy like Glenn Milburn. I mean, he's tough to know. Watch, he's going to come right off the side, and then he knows what it is, but he just can't do anything about it. Look at this. He's right in between. Glenn Milburn is just too quick. He's got too much of that fast twitch muscle fiber going.
And the Broncos are going to go for it on 4th down and call it a 2, but it is a long 2.
Oh, I like this.
2 for 2 on 4th down conversions coming into this one.
Now they're going to try to jump.
And a timeout is called. They try to draw the Redskins, but they were ready for it, and they did not budge. So the Broncos used their first timeout of the second half.
And now for something new. It's Cooking with Terry and Howard.
First, you need to get a very large bowl.
Watch John Elway's head. And this is actually illegal. Watch the head right there. See how they bob that head? See, that's movement, and that can really draw your defensive line off. If you don't believe me, ask Howie Long. And that used to drive us nuts, because Howie was so quick off the ball, and any slight movement that you see, you pick it up peripherally.
Play, huh?
Yeah, and then boom, you just jump offside. Incidentally, they're still going for it on 4th and 2.
Out of the shotgun this time. Elway passes out, incomplete to Craver, and the Redskins will take over on downs. And that was a pass that
got away from him.
Yep. But that's the second time today Elway has thrown a pass like that.
Yeah, he knew it right away, too. See, the pass rush came right up inside, but he had Craver out in the flat, and it was going to be, you know, muscle with Craver versus Darrell Green outside, and as soon as he threw it, he knew it was a bad one.
So with a minute and a half gone by in the fourth quarter, the Redskins take over on downs, tied at 24 with the Broncos. They're on their 37-yard line. And a play fake, Frerotte pass, and it's nearly intercepted by Steve Atwater as he cut in front of Michael Westbrook.
That's a nice job by Westbrook, and that's exactly what Atwater was telling him. You see at the end, Westbrook did a good job of turning into the defender and knocking that thing down and not letting him get the interception. They're running the zone. They're running him across. Now here comes Westbrook. Watch the good job at the end. See, he sticks his hand in there. He's not going to let him make that pick. That's a nice job by Westbrook. And Frerotte has lots of time to throw, but right at the end, he loses his footing when he takes that front step.
Hand off to Allen. Yard, maybe 2. Crockett and Fletcher, or Hager and Fletcher on the play. Lights are on here at Mile High Stadium. The 198th consecutive sellout for the Broncos. Only the Washington Redskins have had a longer string of sellouts. RFK Stadium. Both these teams are looking to the road after this game. The Redskins will play 3 of the next 4 on the road, and the Broncos have 3 in a row away from Mile High after this game. 3rd down and 6 at the 40-yard line. Ferrotte's pass, and it is caught with Elijah Alexander all over Henry Ellard. When Ellard made the catch.
Yeah, that's an interesting spot. And the official right there, number 12, is right. See, because there was no control by Ellard. There was a fight going on between Alexander and Ellard, and he ends up right where they have the ball right now.
Now they're short of the 1st down, but if you look at the official on the far side, it's right on the sticks.
Yeah, well, he's giving him another bad call, because this official down here is right. He did not have control. All right, now they moved it back. That's a good call.
As long as they correct it to the right call, that's all right.
A nice job by Elijah Alexander. Almost came up with a pick, and then Henry Ellard had enough presence to grab that thing and pull it in.
Matt Turk kicking for the 2nd time today, and Lynn Milburn back deep for the Broncos. Just under 12 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, tied at 24. Had a scoreless 1st quarter and no scoring so far in the few moments we've had in the 4th.
Dick, remember the last time these 2 guys played, I think in '86, it was a 31-30 game. Same kind of game.
They're resetting the play clock. That's Scott Turner, double teamed on the coverage play. Milburn. Oh, that's going to let that one go, and it's going to go deep into the end zone and out. A booming kick by Matt Turk of 56 yards. So when we return, the Broncos and John Elway go back on attack from their 20. In the huddle for the Denver Broncos after being shaken up and leaving the field the last time Denver had the ball. Look at this. Total yards dead even, as is the score in this game.
That's just coincidence. I know they didn't plan that.
First down on the 20. Elway to Pritchard, and the catch is made at the 30-yard line, just shy. Well, he's on the mark. It'll be close to the 1st down. Tom Carter defending on the play, and Carter has done a fine job, remember, with that hamstring strain, playing a good part of this game.
Yeah, you should see the cat and mouse game going on between John Elway and James Washington. Washington walking in and out of that 8-man front, giving him a different look. See how he walks up? Now he sees, now he's going to walk back out, and then they go to the audible, and then at the last second he walks back up again. Then he does a sneak again, and then Elway finds the opening.
2nd and inches.
Yeah, that's good football.
Play fake, and Elway drills it, and the pass caught by McCaffrey. Boy, how valuable has Ed McCaffrey been today on that underneath pattern for Elway and the Broncos? A gain of 19, Carter covering.
And how well has this offensive line done for the Denver Broncos? Very good job inside. Give them all kinds of time. That allows Jerry Evans, the tight end, to go straight down the field and clear that out. And then McCaffrey comes in from the other side for the big reception.
5 catches, 57 yards for McCaffrey after being shut out last week against Dallas.
Well, I'm really impressed with the way both these offenses are running.
On the 48-yard line, swing it out to Terrell Davis, and he is ridden out of bounds by Marcus Patton.
He is a find. Terrell Davis is a good football player. Now, he does a lot of things well. He stays in there and he blocks. He's really good inside the tackles. He has the speed to get outside, and then he catches the ball well. I think the Broncos got themselves a steal in Terrell Davis.
We said 196th pick in the draft. That was on the 6th round, and he wasn't even their first pick on the 6th round. He was their second. 2nd and 5 on the draw, Terrell Davis, and he's got a first down. Churning yardage up the middle to the 40-yard line.
And did I forget to mention power? You know, the guy has a big, strong, you see him from the legs, and he's a real thick guy down below. He's about 205. They list him at 200. He's a little thicker than that.
Davis comes off the field to cheers. Meanwhile, the Broncos continue to hurt with their weapons. Anthony Miller has a concussion, and it's doubtful whether he'll return. So Shannon Sharp, Rod Bernstine, Pritchard, who came back into action, now Anthony Miller, all knocked out at one time or another. First down on the 41 of Washington. Elway with a swing pass, and he overthrows Milburn.
Tim Johnson came clean. Boy, he came right up the middle, and he put a nice little donk right there. You're going to see him go here and then back up right inside. So he goes with the arm under and then right to the arm over on Elam, and that's a nice little hit right there. Tim Johnson, they have to have that more consistently out of Tim Johnson. You got to get that every play. You see Anthony Miller on the sideline.
2nd and 10. 9:24 remaining in the 4th quarter. Elway, slant pattern, Pritchard, and he's hit immediately at the 35 or 37, shy of a first down by a couple. Tom Carter, who wasn't expected to play, making the spot. But look at the key injuries, particularly to the Broncos, with Shannon Sharp, Rod Bernstein, and Anthony Miller. Lachey went out early with a shoulder injury, and you say it may be a rotator cuff the way it looks.
Well, and the thing you have to be impressed with is the guys who've come in are all playing well. I mean, they're still moving the ball right down the field.
3rd down and 2. Craver in motion, and Elway on a quarterback sneak, and he did not make it.
He got stuffed.
And it was Rod Stevens and Marcus Patton, the 2 free agent pickups from Seattle and Buffalo, respectively.
I think he got squat. I don't think he got anything.
Squat would mean nothing, I would think.
The old goose egg, yeah. That time, Elway didn't take his customary backward step. He just took it and tried to bull his way in there. He thought he was Terrell Davis.
He's going to that well once too often today. 4th down, going for it again.
Well.
4th and 2. Last time it didn't happen.
Coming his way.
And the handoff to Terrell Davis. He is going to be one of the best running backs. Everyone who has seen him play, and really helping the Denver offense. Gary Zimmerman with great push up front and a first down.
Well, that's why they have guys who carry the ball they call running backs, and then the other guys throw the ball they call quarterbacks. When you need to have it, heck, you give it to the guy who does it well. Terrell Davis is doing it very well. Does a nice job of following the blocker around. See Schlereth 69 and Zimmerman. He just gets on Zimmerman's back, and then he just bowls his way right up inside.
Redskin player is shaken up. And it is Tony Woods, the defensive end. Timeout. Nottage has replaced Tony Woods, who left the game. It'll be first down for the Broncos on the Redskin 26. Tie score at 24. Here's Terrell Davis. He got tripped up that time. Otherwise, he might have had the first down.
Yeah, and they still continue to go back behind the left side of that offensive line. Schlereth 69, 65 Zimmerman, and then Nail in the center. They're really doing a very good job.
Besides the 67 yards rushing and a touchdown, Davis has caught 5 passes for 50 yards and a touchdown. So he's had a big day today. rookie from Georgia. 2nd and 4. Here's Craver. Craver finds a big hole up the middle and bursts inside the 10-yard line.
Boy, Marc Logan is just blowing major league holes in there. I mean, he just took his guy and just blew him right out to the left side.
All right, Matt, former teammate of yours with the Redskins. Let's check the Millen file on Marc Logan.
Well, the first thing you can see that his strength has returned. You know, he had a disease and he lost it. And he's a very quiet leader. He's a guy who leads by example. And then the thing is, he's a really big piece of the puzzle for the Denver Broncos. I mean, they got him and they got that left side completed. I think that's a big-time pick for them.
It'll be 1st and goal at the 10, and Elway coming off and calls the timeout. And Terrell Davis is shaken up. He has been the meat and potatoes, and it looks like his helmet strap is stuck. So the Broncos are forced to call a timeout. That is their 2nd of this 2nd half, and so they're left with 1. That's a costly timeout for Denver.
Yeah, it is, and that'll come back and get them. But, you know, Terrell Davis is having a lot of success inside today because of number 69, Marc Logan. Remember a couple years ago, he had that Guillain-Barré disease, and it's a disease that kind of starts low and works its way up. It affects your nervous system. And he was at 295, and he went all the way down to 230. And then he tried to play last year, didn't have his strength at all. And some people, they can't walk after that. And here he is 2 years later, and that's why I say his strength has returned, because he's where he was 2-3 years ago when he was blowing people around.
Booker Moore, the fullback many years ago out of Penn State, had the same Guillain-Barré disease.
Yeah, and that was the end of him. I mean, Booker, I played with at Penn State, and he was a #1 pick up in Buffalo, and then, heck, he never even played.
What did you call Schlereth when he was at the Redskins? Any nickname?
Yeah, we called him Stinky. We call him Stinky because he's an Alaskan, native Alaskan, and we nicknamed him that from the old stinkheads, the delicacy that they have up there, the rotten fish.
I hope that's the reason. 1st and goal at the 10. Craver off the right side, inside the 5-yard line, and the former Miami Dolphin running well as a reserve for Rod Bernstine. Picks up 7 yards, and Stanley Richard making the tackle.
You're going to watch Stanley Richard and you're at safety. You know guys are coming in for you. Ed McCaffrey, first you have to get rid of one guy, and then you get ready to take a jolt. The thing at safety, you know, you get a lot of times you're able to give good shots because you can see it all coming. And then other times, you just have to be the guy who's the safety. Just don't let him get further than you.
2nd and goal at the 3. They go to Craver again, and he gets down to the 1-yard line. So Craver has gained 48 yards on 6 carries today. And you can see the signal from the Broncos. That's how close they are from getting over for the score.
Well, if they keep it on the ground, don't be surprised if they run it behind Nalen, Zimmerman, and Schlereth, because they've been beating that left side to death all day long.
Winding down to 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter, tied at 24. That's how far the Broncos need to go for a touchdown. 3rd and goal. And Davis doesn't get over. Now they signal touchdown. Had to be a 2nd effort, and I tell you, that's all this guy has delivered today. Terrell Davis, his 2nd effort for the Broncos.
Well, then just take a wild guess. Where did he run behind? You got it right there. 69, Marc Logan. You're going to see they're just going to power the game right here. They're going to come right at you. There's nothing about it. They're going man up. They're giving a fullback to Craver, and then a nice job by Habib. And then Craver, all he does is just give 2nd and 3rd effort.
That's the 3rd touchdown of the day for Terrell Davis. Having a big rookie year so far. Jason Elam's extra point is good, and the Denver Broncos, after the Redskins scored 17 unanswered points, go 80 yards on 13 plays. 3rd touchdown for the rookie running back from Georgia, and it's now 31-24 in favor of Denver. And let's take a look at next week's schedule. The 4th enters from Oakland.
You know, the thing that impresses you about a guy like Terrell Davis, you know, he's a rookie, and you know he runs out there like he's been doing it for a long, long time, but he's just a kid. I mean, he gets out there, he's in the locker room the other day, I'm watching him, has a baseball bat in his locker. First thing he says is, heck, I don't even have my name on my locker. And then he's trying to hit the baseball. Who's pitching it to him? John Elway. So Elway says to him, let's see if you can handle this one. Davis stands in there, and he throws it and hits him right in the head. I got a kick out of that.
And these fans are getting a kick out of the Broncos coming back to take the lead. 4:53 remaining in the fourth quarter. Elam with a kick, and it'll be Brian Mitchell. He's had a sizzling day today for the Redskins. Mitchell finds some room.
He's still sizzling.
And there goes Brian Mitchell, and Jason Elam knocks him out of bounds. The kicker, after another great return by Brian Mitchell. He has had, this has to be his greatest game in the NFL.
I think he should write a book, and it should be entitled How to Take a Crowd Out of the Game in One Easy Play by Brian Mitchell. And here it is. All you do is just follow your block, and that's a great job by Bell, 36 right there. And then the guys up front did an outstanding job. And then at the end, look, I'm going to tell you something. Remember I told you USDA man? And he's not stupid either. He knows he's not going to go out of bounds. He's going to drill the kicker.
56-yard return by Mitchell. And a first down on the Broncos 40-yard line. Here is Terry Allen going outside. And wrestled down by Britt Hager.
Yeah, Britt Hager. There you go. That's another one of those plays he's been making all day long. He sees the thing opened up. He's just doing the same thing as Terry Allen's doing. He's reacting, and then he's going to see the hole, fill the hole, and then make his cut. It's the same thing. I'll tell you what, most good linebackers make pretty good running backs because they see the same things. They usually don't have the same foot speed, but they have the same reaction.
Second down and 11. Brian Mitchell having a tremendous day in kick and punt returns. And Frerotte gets sacked. And making the play was Keith Burns. That's the second big defensive play he has made for Denver.
Nice call by Craig Robinson, the defensive coordinator. He's going to bring both inside linebackers, and he's going to force the running back to make a decision. Marc Logan. See, Logan goes right there, and then he doesn't stay with them. You got to face that up. Burns does a good job of seeing who's blocking them and then running to his shoulder because you attack half the man. See how he does that? Attack half the man, run right through it, you get a sack.
Third down and 19, back in midfield. Frerotte dumps it off to Brian Mitchell. Mitchell fighting his way to the 35-yard line, and that'll leave the Redskins about 5 or 6 yards short.
They're going to go for it, I'll bet you.
Steve Atwater, that's a 15-yard gain, and Atwater makes the stop as we have nearly 3 minutes remaining, and the Redskins still have 2 timeouts in their pocket.
And they're going to go for it. And you watch number 30, he'll be a big part of it. He'll either make a big block in the backfield or he'll make the play.
4th and 5. Caught, and let's see, they may have a first down to Coleman Bell, and it is. The Redskins on 4th and 5 hit backup tight end Coleman Bell. Elijah Alexander riding his back, and it is a first down for the Redskins.
Yeah, well, the first thing you're going to see is protection. And who's standing in there? Everybody, great job, manned up all the way across, and then Coleman Bell beats Alexander. That's not a flag, see? That was a mouthpiece.
That's smaller than a flag.
Just a bit.
On the 29-yard line. Frerotte steps up. Great catch that time by Westbrook. As we get down to the 2-minute warning, Michael Westbrook with a 20-yard catch. His second great reception of the day, and we'll be back to Mile High. What a thriller.
A lot of poise, and it's easy to have it when you're getting this kind of protection. Look at that offensive line. See this right here? Look at that. Nobody around him, and a nice job by Patton. And then at the other end, I want you to watch Michael Westbrook go up and get this ball. See, when that ball's in the air, he's saying, it's mine. That's great hands.
He started at Colorado, and he said, I'm not from Denver. The fans will be against me here. But he has come in with a big game. 3 catches, 91 yards for Michael Westbrook. And it is 1st and goal for the Redskins on the Bronco 9.
Dick, this just reminds me of when I was a kid. Look, I'll be Al DeRogatis.
And I'll be Kurt Gowdy.
You'll be Kurt Gowdy.
These kind of games, man. Chased by Williams, and Frerotte pass incomplete.
Nice play.
And a good thing he got rid of the ball.
Well, they were trying to set up a screen with Terry Allen, but a great job by James Jones, number 93, the nose, of seeing that thing and sniffing it out. Watch James Jones, 93. He's right here. They start with this thing, and then something's wrong. See, he's blocked at the line of scrimmage. Something's up. So he just follows Terry Allen right out there, and that just foils the play.
2nd and goal with 1:54 on the clock. The Redskins still with 2 timeouts remaining. Frerotte dumps it off to Logan, and Logan gets to the 1-yard line. Dan Williams making the tackle on Marc Logan, who caught a touchdown pass just before halftime to bring the Redskins to within 10.
Well, they want to throw to the end zone. Watch Frerotte. He's looking downfield the whole time. And then right at the end, you just dump it off underneath because you know you always have that. And then the other thing you have with Logan is the ability to cut back underneath, which is what he did.
What a great offensive show we're seeing today.
Oh, all the way around. This is a great football game.
3rd and goal. And a play fake. Frerotte. Touchdown! Scott Galbraith. And the Redskins come within 1.
Dick, they wanted to go to Logan in the flat, but Lionel Washington did a great job of getting the jam, and then he held them, and then Frerotte does an outstanding job of going to his second look. This guy is so impressive, it's scary.
24-year-old, second-year player, and only his 6th start, and he is matching slingshots with John Elway, the master, at age 35. And it's Norv Turner's play calling and Mike Shanahan's play calling, and it's been a masterpiece.
It does not get any better than what we're seeing right now.
Eddie Murray to tie the game. And the kick is good, and with 1:07 remaining, and that's enough time for Elway. The score is tied at 31.
Minute 7, you kidding me? Heck, he could have dinner and still win this game. I want you to watch Logan's going to go out. Now watch 48 right down here in the bottom of your screen. See how he holds him? Right there. Got the hand right on him. Now Galbraith comes across the top. And a nice job by Frerotte of waiting, the patience in the pocket. He has the protection. Find your second receiver.
3rd touchdown pass by Frerotte, and the reaction of Galbraith, the former Dallas Cowboy. And he caught one against the Cardinals in the first game of the season at RFK. Now this man, Frerotte, has shown tremendous poise with Heath Schuler out of action with that sprained shoulder.
Tell you what, this guy's shown tremendous poise also. And Norv Turner is calling a heck of a good football game, as is Mike Shanahan. I mean, I think when both these clubs went out and said, we're going to bring in an offensive guy because we want to get some firepower going, they went out and got Norv Turner, and then the Broncos went out and got Mike Shanahan, and they got exactly what they wanted.
Glenn Milburn is back deep, and Eddie Murray will kick off. 1:07 remaining. The Broncos have 1 timeout remaining and a tie score at 31. That kick into the end zone, and Milburn will down it there.
Boy, he had second thoughts, didn't he?
Yes, he did, but Rod Smith said just knee it, and Elway will start from the 20.
Yeah, but you like to see that. I mean, I'm glad I saw Milburn saying, give me it, because that tells me there's a guy who wants to make something happen with pressure. And here's another guy who absolutely loves pressure. In fact, they should take his name off the back of his jersey and put pressure on it.
Well, if there's ever been a quarterback in recent times who have engineered more dramatic comebacks, it's been number 7 for the Denver Broncos. And he's in that position again, although the score is tied. First down at the 20. Elway's pass is caught by Terrell Davis and knocked out of bounds about 2 yards from a first down. The Broncos, believe it or not, have struggled against the NFC in the last 4 years coming into this season. 6-13. As opposed to their dominance over their own conference.
But this isn't the same team. This is the better football team. Now, I'm very impressed with this offense as well.
2nd down and 3 out of the shotgun. McCaffrey, he's been doing that all day. Hit by James Washington and a gain of 18.
Boy, that is a great play by Ed McCaffrey. There's so many plays where it's unbelievable. McCaffrey knows he's got to go up. He knows he's exposing himself, and he knows he's going to get drilled. That ball's way too high. Watch this thing get up there. Now he knows he's going to take a shot, but he just goes up and takes it like a man.
And the Broncos, because of the injury, are forced to take a timeout in the last 2 minutes. And you remember when Denver had to take the timeout because of the helmet on Terrell Davis, which you said would come back to haunt him, and it has. It may have, let's just say that. Because that is the last timeout by the Broncos.
See, now you have to be careful defensively if you're the Washington Redskins. Because now you want to play your zones. You don't want to get into any kind of matchup game. But you have to squeeze them down. Now watch the hit. Nice clean hit, shoulder hit. The league won't say a word about it. And McCaffrey goes up, lands in his head, and he knew he was going to get drilled. And so the touchy area now becomes, how tight do you play your zones? Because if you come up too tight, they're going to throw behind you. And Elway will make it work. And the other thing is, when you're running in zones, Elway will buy time with his feet. If something's not there, he'll roll out, and he presents more problems because all he's doing is working the gray areas of those zones.
Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator, also keep in mind as McCaffrey slowly gets up that the Broncos have lost Anthony Miller to a concussion, Rod Bernstine with an ankle injury, and Shannon Sharp in the first half with an ankle. So the weapons are slowly slipping away for the Broncos. Meanwhile, waiting in the wings on the sideline is Jason Elam, who is used to kicking long field goals. And there you see, very fine percentage of 6 for 10 from 50 or more yards.
Dick, you know, if you would have to name an MVP of this game, I wouldn't even know where to start. You got Elway, you got McCaffrey, you got Terrell Davis, you got Gus Frerotte, you got Brian Mitchell.
291 all-purpose yards for Mitchell.
Yeah, you got Michael Westbrook, and you got no defenders. This is either great offense or horrendous defense.
And no timeouts left either for the Broncos. Elway's pass to Davis.
Oh, nice play by Darrell Green. Darrell Green knew what he had to do. He couldn't let him get out of bounds.
5-yard pickup. Remember, the Broncos with a hurry up with no timeouts left and a half a minute remaining. Trying to get in field goal range. They go underneath. That time to Milburn.
Well, that one surprises me. I thought they'd try to go outside. You're down to 18 seconds.
They're going to try to stop the clock right here. And they do with 15 seconds to go. They're on the 44-yard line. And they're going to need some more yardage for Jason Elam to even attempt a long one here.
Absolutely. You're looking at a 60-yarder. Okay, so what do you do defensively? Right now, because you're down to 15 seconds, you got to make them, A, stay in bounds. The second thing, you got to come up and get a jam and force that timing off of your route. Now, what you can't account for is number 7. Number 7 will take off and buy the time.
But they have no timeouts remaining, so if he runs, he may not be able to get anything going after that.
Well, I don't think he's going to run. If it's not a quick pass, see now, watch, he's going to make it happen. Right through it out of bounds.
Brown wanted an interference call on Darrell Green against Rod Smith. They didn't get it, and now 11 seconds remain in the fourth quarter.
Did you see what Darrell Green did, though? He knew it has to happen, so he jumped up real quick and got the real tight coverage. So if that ball is going to come anywhere, it's going to have to be a perfect pass.
They're going to have to go about, what, 8 yards or so, or 9 yards, to set up what would be the longest kick that Elam has kicked in his career. It'll be 3rd down and 10 on the 43 of the Redskins. And the pass to Pritchard, and incomplete. Pritchard trying to dive, and it's incomplete. And Tom Carter, a courageous defender today, playing with a strained hamstring, covering on the place.
I'll tell you what happened. Oh, he dropped his coverage. I mean, he was very, very lucky. See him looking back to the safety, saying what he's going to do. He pushes him outside. Now you got to get depth. You have got to get depth. Pritchard is able to get outside. That's the weakness of that defense. Elway saw it right away, and he's hot.
6 seconds on the clock. It'll be 4th down and 10.
Either throw to the end zone. You let everything happen in front of you. They won't be able to stop the clock.
And hope for an interference call.
Let him throw underneath.
Elway firing to Smith. And the ball Broncos win it.
Unbelievable! What a throw! What a catch!
Rod Smith forced into the game with injuries to the Broncos receivers with a miracle catch, beating Darrell Green and Stanley Richard for the winning points. And the Denver Broncos have won a thriller here at Mile High. John Elway thread the needle.
What a great play by John Elway with the arm. I mean, this is just all poised. You got nothing to lose. You have to throw to the end zone. And then to let this receiver get back to your safety, you can't do that. I mean, that is just completely wrong. Let him down, stay with him. Darrell Green on him. Look at this play. Watch Smith. Look at this. Unbelievable. That's a great football play.
And John Elway's reaction, and we talked about his comebacks and late game surges in the past. 43 yards for the touchdown to Rod Smith, who makes his first catch of the year. One for the memory books. And the disappointment etched on the face of Gus Frerotte, who grew up as well today, but that's not going to taste very good for a while for the Redskins. The extra point by Elam is good, and the final score here at Mile High Stadium on the last play of the game, the Denver Broncos 38 and the Washington Redskins 31. Big win for the Broncos, heartbreaking loss for the Redskins.
I got it.
Phones. So many places to use my calling card. So why is it no two of them take the same cards or charge the same amount? Will I become a hit-and-run victim on the information superhighway? I know the code. 1-800-CALLATT. I listen for the
AT&T.
I know my card will work, and I'll get AT&T's best deal. Now you know the code. 1-800-CALL-ATT.
Your true voice.
Take one Christmas Eve, add a little whimsy, stir gently, then toss in a heaping scoop of diamond walnuts. That's what holiday memories are made of.
I can build it big or small, learning how to do it all. Makes me feel I'm 10 feet tall, doing it with Duplo. Now with Dulo I can play, connecting in a whole new way. We keep learning every day, doing it with Duplo.
The Duplo system from Lego, building toys for building skills.
How many chances do you have in your life to change the quality of life in your own community? That's one of the reasons American Express card members are continuing the charge against hunger. You can go look into the eyes of people and see that they're doing better. Helped in a real way. Helped by getting a meal. Helped by getting a chance to get back on their feet.
Every time you use your American Express card, you'll help provide a meal for someone who's hungry. So help raise another $5 million, because the charge against hunger is on again.
Wilma, I'm home!
The Flintstones are coming home just in time for the holidays. It's fun for the entire family. Bring home the perfect gift. Bring home the Flintstones on video cassette.
Kmart's kids' clothes come with this great guarantee. I wish my kids did. It's called the Kid-Proof Policy. A Kmart Extra. You're gonna love this. Kmart actually guarantees their kids' clothes. If you're not satisfied with how they hold up, wear, tear, whatever, Kmart will exchange them or give you a refund. I'm glad something's kid-proof around here.
NBC Movie of the Week will return following these messages. Hi, I'm Alec Baldwin. I'm hosting Saturday Night Live with the Beastie Boys. You might know me from some of my films, The Getaway, The Shadow, The Hunt for Red October. Okay, I was Josh on Knots Landing.
She's finally engaged to the man she loves.
Can you believe it? Bo and I are getting married.
But her happiness isn't shared by everyone.
I'm still in love with you.
Days of our lives.
The stories you'll talk about tomorrow are on News Center 7 tonight at 10.
The Boise State Broncos keep the dream season alive. Good evening, everyone. I'm John Dopkin. Coming up tonight at 10 on the Weekend Night Report, Ed Vining will have highlights of the come-from-behind win over Marshall. Also tonight, police officers in southeastern Idaho are getting together to help the family of Wade Feldner. The new Plymouth policeman was killed in January. And shots fired in a North End Boise neighborhood interrupt a quiet afternoon. Look for more on those stories coming up at 10.
We will finance you. No credit needed at Combs Car Corral.
Hi folks, Dennis Combs, Combs Car Corral. Christmas shopping has never been easier at Combs Car Corral. With over 300 of the cleanest used cars and trucks, the best interest rates, the lowest prices, you'll think Santa Claus came to town early.
No credit needed at Combs Car Corral.
What do you need to have a good party? Canopies? With a dance floor? Tables? Chairs? Linen? China? Food? Silver surface? People? And Brown Rent Hall. We do more than rent.
We deliver at Brown Rent Hall. We deliver more.
Guess who's coming to dinner? The Wild Bird Center can help you bring your backyard to life with bird-approved seed, feeders, baths, houses, and expert advice. Don't let nature pass you by. Let the backyard birding specialist at the Wild Bird Center make your backyard wild.
This is KTVB, Channel 7 in Boise.
Was when they were at the high school dance.
And they're dancing and they're doing the Charleston and the pool opens and it's opened maliciously because they're jealous of George Bailey.
Alfalfa is the kid who pushes the button that opens the pool.
And they keep getting closer and closer and closer to the pool. And then when they fall in, it's a fun thing.
I always wanted that to happen at my high school prom, but it never did.
It's the extra little details that make the holidays even more special. Pearls sewn on by hand, the sparkle of yarn, arranging things just right, the feel of velvet, dressing up and curling up. That's what I love about the holidays. And that's what you'll love about my collection. Special for another reason. It's a Kmart Extra, a value you won't find anywhere else.
Outside of this box of Russell Stover candies, life has changed in the last 70 years. But inside, very little has changed. We're still using our time-honored recipes and only the finest ingredients. That's why we can guarantee freshness and home-fashioned goodness in every piece. Nobody does chocolate like Russell Stover does chocolate.
Special time of year, the Century 21 family joins all families everywhere in a warm celebration of those special places in the heart we all call home.
What makes the Sharp View Cam so unique?
It's the stuff that dreams are made of.
It's the camcorder that's always moving. It's the view screen that lets you enjoy it all. It's a shot you can't get with just any camcorder. It's the way to play the moment back instantly with all the color and sound. The Sharp View Cam.
Now get up to a $200 rebate on Sharp View Cam, the only camcorders with a choice of big 3- and 4-inch view screens.
Some days, I get these really pounding headaches. I used to take Tylenol, but it didn't always get rid of all the pain. So I've been using Advil for a while now. I found that on my tough headaches,
2 Advil work better than 2 extra-strength Tylenol tablets. Better than extra-strength Tylenol caplets. Better than Tylenol gel caps. And you know, nothing's been proven to last longer than Advil. For my tough headaches, Advil just works better. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
NBC proudly presents Miss Katharine Hepburn, Kirk Douglas, Henry Winkler, Craig T. Nelson, Bess Armstrong, and Swoozie Kurtz, a holiday weekend movie event.
Drive you all the way to California?
His Christmas wish can only be granted by his long-lost son.
You just drive the car like a good boy.
From the author of On Golden Pond, Take Me Home Again.
Of course there's a Santa Claus.
One magical woman brings a family together for the first time.
Do you think that I could hear the words, I love you, Dad?
Truman Capote's One Christmas.
It's snowing for you, buddy!
A hallmark of holiday motion pictures. Take Me Home Again next Sunday. One Christmas, a week from Monday on NBC. Sunday, an NBC holiday movie event. It's the original holiday comedy classic. Chevy Chase, Seinfeld's Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Beverly D'Angelo, and Randy Quaid. In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, NBC Sunday.
You've heard the ads.
Hooked on Phonics works for me.
But does this high-priced package really work? We asked experts, and guess what we learned? Dateline Tuesday.
It has one of the greatest love scenes ever written, and it's just 2 people talking on a telephone.
Donna Reed and Jimmy Stewart on the phone.
Wanting to kiss each other, and finally he takes the phone and...
Oh, that scene has so much tension to it.
I mean, it's better than any love scene I've ever seen. And, you know, they're standing up and they have their clothes on.
Romance.
For Bob Cratchit, a lump of coal. For Mrs. Cratchit, a lump of coal. And for Tiny Tim, something very special, a lump of coal.
Scrooge, you old miser.
Go away, Marley. I'm making my Christmas list.
Why not get Tiny Tim a sturdy, American-made bunk bed from Kids Beds? Don't settle for a cheap import. Buy American quality at Kids Beds.
You're right, Marley. I'll save the coal for their birthdays.
Kids Beds, next to Big Sur.
Thanks to everyone who made the Check Us Out sweepstakes such a great success, from the Royal Caribbean cruise that includes airfare, to the Kincaid bedroom suite won by Doris Schneider of Emmett, to the multimedia computer system won by the Jerry Evanson family of Caldwell, and the jewelry shopping spree won by Elizabeth Connolly of Meridian, to the Suzuki Sidekick JX 4x4, driven away by Elizabeth Slaughter of Mountain Home. Thanks to all of our fine sponsors for making the Check Us Out sweepstakes happen, and thanks to you for watching Channel 7.
The call letters shown here are translator stations of KTVB. This is KTVB, Channel 7 in Boise, Idaho's news channel.
Hello, everybody. NBC Sports presents the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Raiders. This is Charlie Jones along with Randy Cross and Bob Golick. A look at the AFC West. San Diego is leading. They have a very tough finishing schedule. Denver, the Raiders, and Kansas City. You win your last 3, you've got a shot. For Denver, John Elway is out with a torn kneecap, so that means that Hugh Millen will start for the first time since 1992 when he started with New England.
2 big matchups in this game. The first one, the Raider defensive line, and future All-Pro Chester McLaughlin controlling the line of scrimmage against the Denver O-line.
For the Raiders, Jeff Hostetler, the quarterback, he's tough, he's the leader. He has been beat upon, sacked 30 times this year.
And the biggest matchup is going to be cornerback Crockett on one side, Smith on the other side, because they're going to blitz the Raiders. They're going after Hostetler. That puts them in man-to-man coverage against the Raiders' speed.
Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, an excellent crowd on hand here this afternoon. It's going to be a gorgeous day. The temperature in the 60s. The Raiders won the toss. They will be receiving. The Denver Broncos will be kicking off. Jason Elam will kick off for the Denver Broncos, and number 89, Alexander Wright, number 86, Rocket Ismail. They are the two deep backs. They are speed burners.
Exactly, Charlie. And the Raiders have dominated this matchup. Archell 10-1 against the Broncos for one reason alone. They like to physically beat on the Broncos. The Broncos have to establish themselves the line of scrimmage to be in this game. The first matchup this year, the Raiders took them out early.
Coliseum. Taken back at the 2-yard line by Alexander Wright. He heads to the right, slips a tackle, slips another one, turns the corner, has a pretty good return. Tony Kimbrough finally chased him out for the Denver Broncos. For the Raiders, the quarterback, Jeff Hostetler. And look at that offensive line. Hostetler will hold on to the ball. He will hold on to the ball. He will hold on to the ball. His line will have to give him time to throw. Backs and receivers, Tim Brown has 73 receptions. That is 16 more than the rest of the wide receivers combined.
You mentioned the speed of the Raiders. When they go to the 3 wide receiver, Ishmael comes in, and they go down the field. Don't be surprised, just like they opened up the San Diego game on Monday night, the Raiders will go long early, they'll go long often.
And they open with a play-action fake. Hostetler scrambles, he is going to be sacked. He is dropped back at the 13-yard line. He'll lose about 5 on the opening play. Carl Mecklenburg got him, along with Simon Fletcher. That, by the way, only the 13th sack of the year for this defense of Denver. That front 7, well, we mentioned it. They had a low of 12 sacks. They've got to have more. They have started with 1. Secondary. Ben Smith, Ray Crockett, the cornerbacks. They'll have a busy afternoon against the speedy wide receivers.
Charlie, that secondary was immediately challenged. They sent Alexander Wright deep down the field, the play action fake. They were going for the bomb on the first one. Great coverage.
And he'll throw again. Here's pressure from this side. He's throwing it away. He caught a blitz coming from Mike Kroll, and he had to dump it off. It is incomplete. It will be 3rd down and 14.
Sort of the missing ingredient in Mike Kroll's game this year, all the year long, has been the pressure as 51 comes from the right side of your screen on Hostetler. And Hostetler is just getting this thing away because Kroll has never even breathed on.
It will be 3rd down and 14. You will recall last Monday night against San Diego, the Raiders scored on their first play. 76 yards on the touchdown pass to Alexander Wright. Now they face 3rd and 14 in their opening drive. And Hostetler to throw. Has pressure up the middle, completes the pass up the middle. Alexander Wright, and he is decked at the 21-yard line. It will be 4th down, and the Raiders will kick it away. Elijah Alexander nailed him.
And the key on that play is just the fact that the Broncos have come out. I talked about the fact that they had to establish themselves early. What got them to this point at 7-6 and a shot at the playoffs is being physical and attacking on defense. They blitzed all 3 downs and come up with a big hit on 3rd down by Alexander. They have to keep that up this entire game to get in the Raiders' face.
Jeff Gossett will be kicking to Glenn Milburn. And Denver could open with excellent field position. Pretty good kick. Just turns over at the end, takes it at the 35, slips a tackle, cuts back. Good coverage for the Raiders. Only a couple of yards on the return. 45 yards on the kick. We've got a flag down. It was dropped at the 40-yard line. Jerry McBride's the referee.
Illegal block. Number 50 on the return. 10-yard penalty. First down.
The call on Ray Jacobs, the rookie free agent from North Carolina.
Got to look from the get-go for the Denver Broncos, Charlie. First down for Hugh Millen is going to be just absolutely the most important thing every single time they have that situation for him. He cannot get into 2nd and 10. He cannot get into 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. This defense will attack, and they'll take him out of the ball game because that man there, John Elway, is not going to play today.
And they will open with Derek Clark and Leonard Russell, their big backs, as the 2 running backs. 27-yard line, first down. And the pitch to Russell around the right side, and he's out to the 30-yard line. So he'll pick up 3 on the opening play. Eddie Anderson with the tackle. Hugh Millen, of course, the quarterback, that offensive line. They've got to take it up a notch if they are going to give him time to throw. Backs and receivers, all eyes not as usual on number 7, but on number 17, quarterback Hugh Millen, 9-year veteran playing in just his 32nd game.
And really the challenge for this entire group when they go to 3rd down, 1st and 2nd down, throwing the ball, getting used to Hugh Millen at quarterback from the receiver's standpoint.
Russell again, this time off of the left side. Almost breaks the tackle, a fistful of jersey, but he still stretches the jersey to the 35-yard line, and he picks up 5. Anthony Smith and Greg Biekert on the stop.
Well, you talked about the big backs in that backfield. Chester McLaughlin is down after trying to get in on that last play in the tackle, and what they did, they just came right at that side. McLaughlin starting in a little bit unusual spot today, starting at defensive end, which is a change-up for him. He was the first one that got a face full of the running back, and Biekert managed to drag him down. But so far, the Broncos are asserting themselves. They're the ones that are initiating contact. They're initiating a lot of the action, and that's what they have to do against a team like this that has defensive linemen like Chester McLaughlin, especially on defense, because this is a defense that likes to penetrate and it likes to completely disrupt an offense.
For the Broncos, it will be 3rd down and short, actually about 2.5 to go for the first down. Glenn Milburn comes in to join Leonard Russell. They are now the 2 running backs. And they'll show the shotgun formation for the first time. Shannon Sharp says this is what we need, 3rd and 5 or less. And the pass is too tall, far side. It is incomplete. He goes to Milburn. Fredrickson had the coverage. 4th down, and Denver will kick.
But look for Milburn to be very involved with Hugh Millen. And Hugh Millen knows that in that situation, that's just sort of his first series. He's a little pumped. He talked about, hey, all quarterbacks are pumped up at the beginning of a game. I don't think it's that unusual, and I disagree with him. He's in a high-pressure situation here, and that adrenaline is just working a little bit more.
Tom Rowan will be kicking to Tim Brown. And it is high, fairly short. Tim moves up, takes it at the 30, has a couple of yards on the return. He steps out of bounds after that 36-yard kick. We have no score. We'll be back in a moment.
You know, we've been together up and down the line. It just keeps getting better. You're a part of me.
Here's a great gift idea for Christmas. The new Black & Decker cordless screwdriver. You may actually get some things done around the house. Now with the detachable VersaPack battery from Black & Decker.
Our 6-inch meatball sub features meatballs and sauce on bread I just baked, all for a low economical price. I won't say how low, but you'll probably find enough in the cushions of your couch.
The 6-inch meatball sub, only $1.69, only at Subway.
Stuff. We all want stuff. And when we buy a new car, we want all the stuff. Dual airbags, power steering, power mirrors, air conditioning, a stereo, automatic transmission, a place to put a cup of coffee, convenient stuff. What's really great is that you can get all this stuff on any of these Escorts for the same low price. That's called value. Escort is a great value. Compared stuff to its leading competition, Escort costs less, period. Ford Escort. Good stuff, great price.
This is Charlie Jones and Randy Cross for the Raiders. Their second opportunity on offense. Do you look for them to go long again?
I look for them to go long a lot because what Denver did was they came out and they did what they've been doing best, and that's attacking defensively. The problem with attacking defensively, it leaves your corner in man situations, and man against the Raiders is like risking death because they will go long, and Art Shell loves to get the ball down 30, 40 yards down the field, let his guys run down underneath it.
The ball just shy of the 35-yard line. Raiders in their own territory. No score in the ball game. And the give is to Harvey Williams. Williams will take the shot straight at the middle for about 3 yards on the play as we step across the country to New York for an update.
All right, Charlie, an important game to both the Raiders and Broncos in the AFC playoff picture. The Bills lose to Minnesota, and this injury with 1.5 minutes to Jim Kelly. He left the game with an injury to his left knee, hit by Henry Thomas of the Vikings. 21-7, Minnesota wins it. Buffalo falls to 7-7. Charlie?
Well, we're going to miss Buffalo in the playoffs, it looks, but what a nice addition with the Vikings playing so well near the end of the season. Hostetler, he is going to run. Will he slide? No, he'll dive for it. Across the 45, 46-yard line. He scrambles for the first down. First down of the ball game for the Raiders. Mecklenburg covers him.
Charlie, remember what the Raiders do best is they form a pocket like this for Hostetler. He stands back in it longer than anybody else in the league, and he looks downfield. Here he takes a page out of Elway's book. He gets in the pocket, he sees a hole, and he just takes it. This is gimme yardage. This is a quarterback just saying, hey, look, I'm not going to take a risk. I'm not going to take a chance. If you'll give me 7, 8, 10 yards, I'm going to take it.
Raiders with a first down. And Harvey Williams again gets the call. And a couple of yards to the 47, he bumps into Darrell Hall. Hall is the strong safety. He is starting for Steve Atwater, who is inactive for the ballgame. He is plagued by that hamstring injury.
He really is. And he didn't practice all week long. In fact, Elway was a lot less questionable than Atwater was. And you know how bad that's got to be when that's the situation. But this is a guy much out of the Atwater mold. This is a defensive back, spent some time in Canada, that loves to come up and make contact, likes to blitz. Coverage is not his forte.
Hostetler to throw on second and long. Pump fake. He goes deep, hangs it up, and it's almost intercepted. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Dennis Smith had a golden opportunity for his first interception of the year, and he did not make it.
Jeff Hostetler has to be thinking right now, what in the heck was I thinking? He's got a defender down around his legs. The inside receiver is Alexander Wright as he heads down the field. He is completely covered. And the only reason he doesn't get both hands on the ball, I don't think he thought he could at the time. And Hostetler had to be begging right about then that it wasn't an interception.
Third down and 8. Four-man run. Pressure from both sides. He is hit. It is an incomplete pass. So it will be fourth down. It was Simon Fletcher who got to him. And so the Broncos continuing to apply the pressure to Hostetler.
At all costs. They're bringing Mecklenburg. They're bringing the safety Hall. They're bringing everybody. And they're doing what they haven't done most of the season. That's getting to the quarterback early. They've gotten to him on occasion late. But when you can get Dronette and you can get Fletcher there, you get him home against this quarterback. He is not used to seeing a Denver Bronco team this year going after the quarterback.
Jeff Gossett will be kicking to Glenn Milburn.